Hello YouTubers, this is Dalek Shram, aka Mark. It's a very warm and sunny day today, hence why I'm wearing sunglasses. And welcome to my review of the vehicles from Thunderbirds Are Go. Now I know some of you have already seen vehicle reviews, but now that we have all 6 Thunderbirds, I thought it'd be nice to have a look at them all at once. Okay, so let's get started with Thunderbird 1. Obviously the most iconic vehicle of the Thunderbird fleet. It definitely looks a lot like the original. I like the idea of the rotating engines at the back, but I think the wings should be made a little bit bigger, just like the original. Now all Thunderbird toys have sound effects. For Thunderbird 1 you press this button and you'll hear either sound effects or Scott talking. Now, I won't go through all the sound effects because there's no actual order, but if you leave the toy alone for a few seconds, it'll play another sound effect.
FAB, I'm on it.
There you go. Now the main functions for this toy are you rotate the engines and the wings are deployed. I must admit, I think they should be on separate systems. Because when you see the TV series, there are some times when the wings do open but the engines don't turn. They don't have to be linked together. I think that is a little bit disappointing. There is also another problem with this toy. If you have a look at the starboard side, note the TB1s, they're upside down. Why? I mean, when you look at the box for the Tracy Island playset, there are some images of Thunderbird 1 from the starboard side, and the TB1s are the right way round. Of course, that Thunderbird 1 is a prototype, but they better have a very good excuse for putting it upside down on the final product, because that is really annoying. Okay, our next Thunderbird is Thunderbird 2. This one's a personal favourite of mine. I've always loved Thunderbird 2. And I think the new design, it looks pretty cool. I mean, not many people like it because they prefer it with its curves rather than these straight lines. Actually, I think it looks cool with the straight lines. It kind of reminds me of the dropship from Alien. To hear Virgil talk, you just press the 2 here.
FAB, Scott. This is Thunderbird 2, mission complete. I'm on my way home. Thunderbird 2 is go.
The toy functions for Thunderbird 2 are pretty much the same as the original Thunderbird 2 toys. There are 2 buttons on the side which you press to lower the legs. And there's a button on the back which you press to drop the pod. Of course in the new series it's called a module, but I'm from the old school so I call it a pod. The only difference is the buttons don't stand out as much as the original toys do, because they used to be like big grey or red buttons. And of course you can fold the wings in or spread them out. Now as you can see, the pod has no number, but the door does open. And like all Thunderbird 2 toys, it comes with a mini Thunderbird 4. Now the new Thunderbird 4 looks pretty cool. It does look a lot like the original. The only major difference is it's got a door at the back and some windows underneath. Of course they haven't overdone it like the 2004 version. Of course you can't open the door and you can't deploy the mechanical arms underneath. This is just one piece of plastic so it doesn't really do much. But it's a nice little addition to have with Thunderbird 2. It's a tradition. Our next Thunderbird is Thunderbird 3, the spaceship. It's not too bad. I think unlike Thunderbird 2, this is one Thunderbird that should have kept its curves. As with the straight engines, it actually looks like it's made out of Lego. And apparently a lot of people on the Fanderson Facebook page agree with me. It's not too bad when you look at it at different angles. I have to admit, at least this Thunderbird 3 has a decent cockpit, because if you think about it, in the original, when Thunderbird 3 was standing, Alan Tracy would sit like this. Well, he would bend his knees, but this figure can't. But then when Thunderbird 3 is in flight, Alan would sit like this. Or like this. You have to agree, that's pretty weird. Unlike the other vehicles, there's no button to hear Alan or the sound effects, so you have to turn the cargo bay here.
FAB. Deploying grasping arms. International Rescue, this is Thunderbird 3. Do you copy?
Now if you press the on engine here, it will deploy the arms. And then you can just deploy them manually. I must admit, I'm not too sure about this spring action system because I've seen this in lots of toys. Toys with this kind of mechanism, they tend to break easily and then it's so hard to fix, so once it's broken, you can't fix it. One change I would suggest with Thunderbird 3 is that I would have holes in these parts of the arms, because then you can insert different tools for Thunderbird 3 to use on missions. So you've seen the TV series, it has either grabs, grappling cables, or even those poles that it uses when it's docking with Thunderbird 5. Talking of the space station, here is Thunderbird 5. Now I must admit, I don't really like the design for Thunderbird 5. My brother likes it because it looks like a real space station. I don't because it doesn't look anything like the original Thunderbird 5. However, I do like the fact that Thunderbird 5 gets used more in the series, because in the original series all it did was pick up the distress calls and that was it. I think that's why most people like the episodes EOS and Skyhook, because Thunderbird 5 is the main attention of those episodes. As for the toy, Thunderbird 5 has two functions. The solar panels can turn full 360 degrees, and you can pull out the space elevator, which will return to Thunderbird 5 on a motor system. It does spin around a lot, a bit like in a outer space teacup. I must admit, this toy uses more stickers than the others, on the panels and the gravity ring as well, which doesn't turn, by the way. For sound effects, to hear John and EOS, you press the docking mechanism here.
FAB. International Rescue, this is Thunderbird 5. We have a situation. You may be clever for human, but I am EOS.
Interesting thing is, if you leave Thunderbird 5 alone, it won't play John or EOS speaking, it will play a sound effect. There, you see? FYI, Thunderbird 3 can't dock with Thunderbird 5. I should point out that Thunderbird 5 doesn't come with a stand, so you're going to have to use whatever you can lying around the house, so I've just used these see-through bricks. Our next Thunderbird is Thunderbird Shadow, which I guess you could say is like the new series equivalent of Thunderbird 6. So it's an interesting design. I think, in my opinion, it looks like a cross between the Angel/Falcon Interceptor from the new series of Captain Scarlet and Captain Jack's spaceship from the Doctor Who episodes with the gas mask zombies. Now, I've kept the box it came in because there's something I need to point out. On the back, about here, it says you have to press two buttons to hear KO and the sound effects and deploy the shadow bike. That is what it's referring to, but guys, these aren't the buttons. The box is false advertising, no. These are the buttons. This one to deploy the shadow bike, and this one to hear KO.
Thunderbird 5, you there? I have a situation.
Now, unlike Thunderbird 4, the shadow bike is not just one piece of plastic. The wheels do turn. See? So that's pretty cool. And to get the bike back, push it underneath, just like the pod with Thunderbird 2. Of course, in the TV series, it's deployed on a lift mechanism, but It'd be too difficult to put it in this toy, I think. And the last vehicle to show you is Fab 1, Lady Penelope's Rolls Royce. Again, it looks pretty much like the original. The only major difference is it's got a lot of silver though. And it uses technology from Terrahawks. Because if you see the episode Undercover, Fab 1 can change colour. Because in Terrahawks they have a Rolls Royce called Hudson, and he can change colour. For sound effects and to hear Lady Penelope and Parker, press this button here.
I believe we've got company, milady.
Turn the car around, Parker. I have some international rescue business to attend to.
I have to admit, as a toy, it is a little bit disappointing, because if you just press the passenger section, the wings deploy, so it can go into flight mode. But that's all it does. I mean, you've seen the TV series, it does more than just deploy wings when it's going to fly. The wheels should be on a mechanism that allows you to face them downwards, so they can act like jet engines. I've seen this technique used in toys before. I'm just surprised they haven't done it with this one. Also, because of its size, I would have put minifigures of Parker and Penelope in the passenger section, just like the original version that Corgi just made. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. So that completes the review of the vehicles. Now, usually when I do reviews I rate them out of 10, but instead of rating them all together as one group, I'm going to rate each one. I'm going to be basing my marks on the design of the vehicle and the toy itself. So, Thunderbird 1, 7 out of 10, 4 for design, 3 for toy. Thunderbird 2, 9 out of 10, 4 for design, 5 for the toy. Thunderbird 3, 7 out of 10, 3 for design, 4 for the toy. Thunderbird 4, 5 out of 10, 4 for design, 1 for the toy. Thunderbird 5, 6 out of 10, 3 for the design, 3 for the toy. Thunderbird Shadow, 8 out of 10, 4 for design, 4 for toy. And Fab 1, 6 out of 10, 4 for design, 2 for the toy. So now you'll probably be asking the question, are they worth it? Well, my answer is yes, they are worth getting if you like the new series. If you don't like it, then don't bother. But if you do, go for it. As I've mentioned in my review with the Tracy Island playset, I prefer the original series. We all agree that the original is the best, but when it comes to remakes, the new series is a lot better than the 2004 movie. So thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to check out my review on the Tracy Island playset, which I did last year. In the meantime, I'm going to go and have an ice cream. It is so hot today. Cheerio, guys!